Good evening and thanks for tuning in to Twin State Sports. I'm Zach Simonar. The Mississippi State Bulldogs entered Saturday's showdown with Kansas State 2-0 and looking to make a move into the top 25 of the country with a victory at home. Despite holding a 7-point fourth quarter lead, K-State would go on to score the final 14 points of the game, including this 100-yard kick return for a score from Malik Knowles that sunk the Dogs 31-24. Kylan Hill dazzled again at the ground, running for over 100 yards, but just a few plays here or there spelt the demise for MSU on this day.
Certainly disappointed in the loss. Had some opportunities there in the second half to put the thing away and weren't able to do it. I mean, we outgained them 352 to 269. The turnovers was a push. We won third down. We won red zone, but we're going to look back and see probably 3 or 4 plays in each phase, offense, defense, and special teams, where we've got to make sure we're in the right call as a coaching staff. We got to make sure we're executing the plays at critical junctures of the games.
With Tommy Stevens ailing once again, MSU backup quarterback Garrett Shrader was pressed into action, and because of that, was part of one of the most memorable highlights of the weekend. Shrader helicoptered through the air on a do-or-die fourth down scramble that came up 1 yard short on 4th and 16. Shrader sold out for the first down marker with under 3 minutes to go, and he was catapulted some maybe 10 feet in the air. Shrader came down hard. He was able to remain in the game. Still unknown if he or Stevens will get the start for the Bulldogs' SEC opener next weekend against Kentucky. Ole Miss Rebels improving to 2-1 this year, but it wasn't pretty. A 40-29 win over the FCS's Southeastern Louisiana. Lions racked up 375 yards of offense against a less than effective Rebel D, but Jerrion Ealy's 94-yard kick return for a score, just enough to get Mississippi over the finish line.
But again, I'm happy we got the win. Need to try to continue to build on the vision of this program. Every time that you put on that uniform, it's got to mean something to you when you walk on that field and you have this vision of what you want it to look like. That wasn't what we wanted.
Saints got to see the LA Rams for the first time since last year's NFC Championship game, and once again, Saints got played by the refs. Although it may not have ultimately cost them the game, the Zebras blew a play dead that would have otherwise resulted in an 85-yard fumble recovery for a score for Cam Jordan. That would have given New Orleans an early lead. Coach Sean Payton says they can't dwell on bad calls and should only focus on what they can control.
We can't focus, the things we can control as coaches are the things that I just alluded to. When we get poor officiating or we get an awful call like that, we can't control that. So our focus this week is going to be on cleaning up the penalties and making sure we got the right guys on the field too.
And to add injury to insult, literally, Saints are expected to be without quarterback Drew Brees for a bulk of the next 2 months. Brees will likely land on the shelf for about 6 weeks after injuring his thumb in yesterday's loss. The veteran tore a ligament in his right thumb after his throwing hand hit the hand of Rams defender Aaron Donald on a pass attempt. Teddy Bridgewater replaced Brees and will be the starter while he recovers from thumb surgery. 40-year-old has been an Iron Man of sorts, missing just 1 game due to injury in his NFL career.